Ladies and gentlemen, I am officially running for President of the United States.
Fuck Islam! Fuck them! Fuck Islam! God bless Donald Trump!
Thank you for not taking the shirt off.
I did. Fucking A,
Build that wall! Yeah!
Fuck Islam, baby!
We have a divided nation because people like her, and believe me, she has tremendous hate in her heart. Our president has divided this country so badly. And we are going to make our country great again.
Obama, good luck to you.
Have I been a good messenger? This is a movement like people have never seen before.
You know, there have been Republican presidents with whom I disagreed with, but I didn't have a doubt that they could function as president. But that's not the situation here.
What a great honor to be able to introduce for the first time ever anywhere the 45th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
The 2016 presidential election was one of the most divisive elections in our nation's history. Everybody had something to say about it, and they got to express their opinion in their vote. However, being that the voting age in this country is 18, that leaves out a significant number of people, the nation's youth. These are people who have opinions who matter. You know, they'll be adults during Trump's presidency and will have to experience the full effect of his presidency as adults. And, you know, they weren't afforded the luxury of getting a voice in this election. So I talked to some of my peers to see, you know, how they felt about it.
I remember very clearly the day after he got elected, like it was announced like near midnight, so everybody was like on their way to sleep, and it was like a weekday. But the next day, I was taking the train to school, and like I was with my friend, and everything just seemed so quiet and like dead. The entire city of New York, one of the loudest and most active cities in the world, was just everybody was so quiet and just like there was no noise on the train. Everything just felt very calm and like very dreary. You know.
I would have probably voted for Hillary Clinton.
I probably would have voted for Hillary.
I mean, out of Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton.
Hillary, because her policies they more lean towards what I believe is right and what I believe is right for the country.
I don't think many people of color voted for Trump. I don't think people of color would be voting in their interests if they voted for Trump.
So a lot of people like share the same views as Trump. They just don't want to say it. They feel like they're afraid to say it.
It really shows you that like because you know, living in New York, you don't really get exposed to like, you know, like Republican or like, I cut that shit. I don't want to say Republican. I would rather say Trump supporters, because there is a difference.
Trump supporter will follow Trump no matter what.
Republicans are value voters. Trump supporters are not. That's the difference between a Republican and a Trump supporter.
Well, I think Trump's whole system is just like not blaming the majority. It's all about blaming the minorities for all the problems.
Definitely. I think you definitely see like an increase in racialized crime. I mean, even after Trump announced his candidacy, and especially after he's taken office.
Mexico sends its people. They're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists. And some, I assume, are good people.
I think, you know, what we consider like acceptable has very much changed. I think what we're, you know, just people being openly racist, openly discriminatory, has like very much increased in the past few months, and that's scary.
Donald Trump he has said really wrong things. He said discriminatory, racist, sexist things.
You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy.
And these things influence a lot of people because he's now the face of our country.
Today I was on the train, and this group of like primarily white boys. They were like, they were kind of like dressed like they were cool. They kept saying the N-word to each other, like addressing it and like talking about like this one kid who was like black and like referring to him using the N-word.
And a lot of wrong things, a lot of discriminatory things have been happening from his supporters to people of color, to minorities, to Muslim people, which is wrong. They've been physically attacking people, and they've been yelling and saying just harmful and just disgusting things, which is, you know, wrong.
Well, Bill O'Reilly asked me, is there a Muslim problem? And I said, absolutely yes. In fact, I went a step further. I said, I didn't see Swedish people knocking down the World Trade Center.
I'll watch different podcasts from different people, like from the far left to the far right, and like I noticed with the far rights, I mean, they talk bad about simple things like MSAs. Like, that's ridiculous. I mean, I used to be part of an MSA, and that's crazy that they would think like something like students getting together with a similar religion just to have fun together and socialize, they would paint that in an evil way, or it's like dangerous, or that it should be monitored. I thought that was crazy.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on.
Even though I don't identify as a Muslim, I'm an atheist, like, you can't tell that from looking at me, obviously, but like, it does make everything a lot more challenging.
I mean, a lot of people, they don't have exposure to Muslims, so when they meet a Muslim person and then they just see things in the news and they never met a normal Muslim, they just think that those radical extremists are what normal Muslims are.
I have a lot of family in other countries, and my family is Muslim, so the Muslim ban thankfully did not affect my family from Bangladesh. They did not ban anybody from Bangladesh, but like, it just like increases the stereotypes and like changes people's views on Muslims, and then we get treated even more differently.
I think the fear behind the Muslim ban is that they think that the refugees or these people coming from these countries, that they're radicalized and they're gonna come and do something.
She has 39% of young people with a favorable opinion of her, 54% unfavorable. So those numbers are still shit, but it's twice as high as for Trump.
I mean, okay, one thing I would look for in a leader, and I think these are the most important traits of a leader.
I need to be honest, not like honest fully, like tell us everything, because some things I'm not gonna lie. Some things need to be kept hidden.
I definitely would want somebody that takes everybody into account, like the rich and the poor.
You have to have a background in economics. I think you have to know what balance of trade is.
You shouldn't be racist.
You have to have experience with people from all walks of life, so you have some baseline of humanity.
Being able to treat everybody equally, that's extremely hard. Like, everybody says, like, everybody wants to say, oh yeah, I treat everybody equally, but like, they really don't, like, no matter what. But it's extremely hard to like truly treat everybody equal, because there's always a bias from where you grow up, who you grew up with, you know, your race, your ethnicity.